Okay, we're going to do a little garden walk. Sorry, I'm itching. So you probably got a view of like the top of who knows what trees. Beautiful tree line up there. Uh, and a Ian in his pajamas because that's how we roll. We're gonna talk about a couple of things. We're gonna just show you how things are going. I still do not like it, and I'm gonna show you why. This is why I gave it a bad review. I just came out not long. Let me show you. Not long ago, and redid this and fixed this. It comes apart just like that. I mean, it's just not a good product. Um, it's just not. This is the broccoli bed. Oh my goodness. Can you see that? It is, we got to cut this one out. Um, we will do that later. I just cut one out the other day, but that one is way ready. Oh, we have two. Yay. Look, there's another one. I don't know if you can see it. This is, my hand is around it so that can give you an idea of the size.
We named our owl Ben.
Yes, we named our owl Ben. I'll show you Ben in just a minute because I can't see if there's any more in there, but there's two. Look at how big of this broccoli is, Ian.
Oh, that's a crazy broccoli.
Yeah, it's gonna need to come out of there soon.
Very soon.
Yeah. Okay. And this year, this is extra tomatoes because germination went fantastic on everything that I planted. So extra tomatoes. There's some okra. The small things that you see are okra. I direct sowed them in with the tomatoes because the tomatoes will pretty much be done before the okra comes up, and you can do that. It's using the most of your space. Basil's looking good. Sage is looking good. I'm going to turn this spinner around because it's like beating up the sage. Overall, marigolds are doing good. I've pulled a few of them to start drying them for seed for next year. Just because we can. Redid this bed just a couple of days ago, and again, you can see this is not even attached to the thing. This is why Amazon seller that sells this is why you got a bad review. Your product does not stay together like it should. And these insect nettings are just not, they just, you can see my little patch job with the clothespins, and I just did this one, and there's another hole, and it's been a whopping 2 days. So yeah, well, 2 maybe 3. Lemon balm, I have put I think 3 plants down here. It will eventually continue to expand and grow. This is a mint. I think we need to weed eat. That will happen probably in the next few days. I think that's my chocolate mint. I'm not sure, but yeah, it smells so yummy in the dehydrator. I have to tell you. As I've told you already, these wooden beds are on their way out. They've served their purpose.
Metal beds are going to replace them.
I may do a fall crop in them and then start tearing them down because we're going to try to get all of the other beds that we want to expand for next year done in the fall while the weather's cooler and we have a chance to do all that. There's a bed of cucumbers. It's in the near future. What are you doing? What are you throwing? Don't throw them into the bed, please, and just leave them be. Leave them be. Please listen to what I'm saying to you. Okay. Sorry. In this bed, if you hear the high-pitched noises, they are the little repellent things that we bought. They seem to be helping a little bit. I don't know. I don't have a good recommendation. I'll tell you straight up.
And this
Go
is
shoot that bird, please. It's right on the last bed. Do you see it? We have the owls that are modeling. They light up at night. Don't know how effective they are at keeping the birds away, but they look really pretty, so I'm happy. Works for me.
And this is one of Ben's children, sons.
Is it Ben's sons? Is that how that's going to go? Can they be sons and daughters?
Yeah, sons and daughters.
Okay, so your sons and apparently the lights are the modeling owls that are lights. All of everything is solar, which makes life easier for me because I don't have to remember stuff. But apparently they're Ben's children, and we will talk about Ben in just a minute. My comfrey that came from Stiver's homestead is starting to grow a little bit more. I was a little worried about it to begin with. Looks like something may have noshed on a leaf, but that's okay. It may have also been where I pulled it. I never did come back and deal with the eggshells that are in here, but it's okay. It just is what it is. To address the white powder, it's dehydrated eggshells that I put through the grinder. Just makes it a little bit easier. Still, runaway peppermint. I've been clipping it and dehydrating it. This part over here is clover. This part is peppermint. And it's kind of like all in my pea bed. I did that in the bed where the peas and beans are. I don't have a pea bed. I did come out, I found a piece of ag fab or insect netting, ag fab, whatever you want to call it, that I had that is equally as cheap as that is, but we did put it over it just to see if we can manage to get something out of the harvest, because it does keep birds and stuff from gnashing on it. We were blessed with a really cool day, so I got to get out here and do this with no real big issues. But like I said, as you can see, there are holes. So, whatever netting this is,
it's trash.
We're gonna try to find something better next year. This is a lavender bed. It's coming along nicely. There's been a flower or two, but not enough to really, it's coming. So we're on, I think this is the third, is this the third or the fourth wood bed? This is the fourth wood bed. Again, these are the Romas that I thought I killed.
These are marigolds.
Apparently I did not, so we're letting them grow. All these nice, huge, big marigolds, beautiful. Yes, I will come out periodically, pull some flowers for seed for next year so that we have more of them, more and more and more.
And you want to know
because
something?
I love marigolds. They're one of my favorites.
This attracts our pollinators.
Tell me that again, please.
This attracts our pollinators.
Please look at me.
This attracts our pollinators.
Exactly what is a pollinator?
Like a bee.
Look at me when you're talking, please.
It's like a bee.
What does a pollinator do?
It pollinates the flowers and gets the pollen. And then if it's a bee, a honeybee, it takes it back to their hive and makes honey with it.
And what do we do with honey?
We eat it, and it can be turned into and it can be medicine.
Exactly. And we love our pollinators, don't we?
Yep.
Okay. So, moving to this bed. The marigolds, like I said, I'll come back out. I actually just topped them the other day, and the orange ones mostly, and have them drying to have for seed for next year. This bed is lemon cucumbers. Guys, I've never had a lemon cucumber. We'll see if we like them. If we like them, we'll grow them again next year.
And if we don't, we'll never grow them again.
Yeah, if we don't like them, we just won't grow them no more. Took a chance. You never know. You got to try new things. anyway, there's also dill in this bed, basil. We will, you know, we're trying to use as much growing space as possible. So there's that. We're going to come back here just simply because even though there's still a bit of a mess, some of it is beneficial, so that's where that is. This is peppermint. Let me back up. It's either strawberry or chocolate mint. I can't remember. I have to actually get it close to my face, and we're not doing that today. But it's in the mint family that has mint in it. Most of these have a form of mint in them, and I'm kind of trying to see how much of it will grow so I can, because this little bitty baby peppermint is only going to produce so much this year. Have a couple little pretty flowers that were pretty. I don't know if they're going to stay pretty, but they were.
One of Ben's sons and daughters.
Yeah, we have the modeling owls dispersed through the garden. The pinwheels help deflect the birds. They're kind of working this year. They're not working as well as they did the first year I used them. I think the birds got brave or more hungry. I don't know. Dealing with it as we can. This is the green peppers. It's there's kind of starting to do a little something. I got to get out here and stake them. A little bit of basil, always marigolds. I love marigolds. I love the way they smell. Have 2 eggplants here on this end. Everything will grow vertically. We should be good for plenty of room. There's a weed right there that I have to get addressed later. This, of course, is the... Wait, I missed a bed. This is Italian oregano. I have Greek oregano growing in the house. I opted not to bring them both out this year. We may do that next year, depending upon how well this comes back. It will depend on if I bring the other out. This is what's left of the strawberries. Of course, I've told you already, this is the last year for this bed and for these strawberries. What's going to happen next year is we're going to do 2 beds here, where this actually 3. We're going to do 1 bed of June-bearing strawberries, 1 bed of indeterminate, I think is the word I'm trying to say, still in migraine.
She's still in migraine mode. Another one of Ben's sons and daughters.
Yes, words, jumbled up. But anyway, and then I'm going to, I finally figured out that I'm going to just make a rhubarb bed versus trying to sow it in ground, because for the love of everything in my heritage, I cannot get rhubarb to grow on this property just putting it in ground. So we're not going to give up. We're going to try it a different way. This is our in-ground worm composter. What you see around here, the papers and stuff, these papers are what were overspill from where we fed it last time. It serves as mulch. But the lid comes off, and what's going on down in there? Our food, papers, stuff like that. Worms will come and do what they do, and nourish our ground, and that's how that works. Let's continue on. When we build the other beds, this will either be in one of them or in the middle of one of them. We'll figure out the logistics later. A couple of days ago, before I got this last migraine, this is rosemary. Again, I'm hoping, rosemary in a train, I'm hoping it should multiply on its own. I have one in the house just in case this one doesn't come back. If it comes back, I'll be extremely happy, because this part of the garden are my herbs and stuff for both cooking and making tinctures, herbal remedies and things of that nature. So that's the start of that. Potatoes in buckets. And
And
as
we
I
have some squash over there.
hang on, we'll get to it. Potatoes in buckets.
Not the holes and buck up there.
Potatoes in not in buckets. I'm sorry. These containers are designed for growing potatoes or bigger. You know, I could grow rhubarb in this, but it won't come back in this for whatever reason. It doesn't overwinter well, I don't think. But anyway, this is where our potatoes will come from in a few weeks. We got the rest of the bushes planted. Only problem is I forgot which ones are which, and I didn't label them. So when they grow,
We're just gonna have to find out.
It's a surprise. That's it, and the same thing happened up there. I thought I had everything up on the other side of the yard. I thought I had it all marked and organized, and all that neat stuff. And well, we found out the other day that not so much. In this container is another squash zucchini plant. I had things left over. Please don't do that. Had a few plants left over. I shared some with my neighbor. Still had some left over, and the other day we were finishing up with what dirt we had left from the farm, and it was just like, you know what? Let's just go ahead and throw these in to containers. If they've been sitting out for a while, if they grow great, if they don't grow great. This is
our squash, and we have a baby squash.
This is our squash.
We have a baby squash in progress.
This, I can't remember what variety. It's not a hook neck. It's called a summer. Anyway, I've already pulled about 3 or 4 squash off of it. I just pulled one a while ago. Please back up. Thank you. And this is another squash / zucchini plant. It may or may not. It was one of the I'm tired, let's plant this ones. So it may do something, it may not.
Another son, daughters.
Whichever way it goes, we're good. Gonna move over to where we have the corn planted and talk about a few things. I just put banana peel in through here, so if you see stuff on the leaves, that's what it is, dehydrated banana peel, just to kind of, feed. We've talked about this bed. I know stuff is planted a little more close than what it probably should be. We're going to see what happens. The beans don't seem to be doing... I think I should have planted them probably the same time I planted the corn. I don't know if they will shoot up later or not. But in this bed, give me a second. I know you have something to say. Let me say what I'm saying. The squash is planted closer together, and squash / zucchini. I know this. It will either work or it won't. Or it's still not too late to pull a plant out if need be. Mixed in with this, that's a marigold that I planted. This is a sunflower. Just kind of seeing just what would happen. We just tried to use as much of the bed as possible to see how much food we could actually grow and how much it would work with growing vertical instead of out. These squash will probably grow out more than up, which is going to be fun mowing, but we'll deal with it. Just because there's obviously no room to really trellis them up at this point. The ideal was that they would, they're supposed to work together, but they don't. It doesn't seem to be happening yet. We'll see.
And here's Ben.
This is a winter squash. It's just going to kind of be doing its little thing in its little corner until things do its thing. Okay, guys, this is Ben. Okay, now please stop. You know better. Everything does not have to have a train in it. I've asked you not to do that twice. Okay, now Ben came from Amazon. We moved Ben around the garden. My thoughts on Ben kind of works. Here's the problem. You see how close I am to this? Nothing's happening. This is how close I have to be before Ben makes any noise. Now his eyes light up a funky color at night, and
Red.
that helps. But as far as I'm not impressed, because if something is this close and that's the end of the garden, they've eaten my garden. See what I'm saying? Okay, I know Ben is fun. Okay, let's move back to, this is our tomato bed. Kind of looking, little things are starting to take off. Things are starting, please stop, son. Things are starting to happen. The weather's been a little weird, so things are responding accordingly. We had a couple of really cool days, which just kind of like confused everything. In this bed also, there's okra plants around the tomatoes, and there's onions in this bed that aren't really coming up. I'm not sure what went wrong there, but it's just using as much space to grow as much food as possible. We used about 5 pounds, 4.5 to 5 pounds of seed this year for onions. Next year we're going to double that because it works to protect various things. They say not to plant it next to your peas. However, my friends at Sivers Homestead did just that, and it worked fine. So next year when I plant my peas, there'll be onions. Leftover tomatoes in the bucket garden. Y'all remember the bucket garden from a couple years ago? Dehydrated eggshells. We're going to water. It'll go in the soil. No big. Will it be immediately available for the plant? No. Will it break down quicker? Yes. Same with the banana peel. That's why I dehydrated it. It does make it more available quicker. Now, I'm not saying it's an immediate, but it is there. Cucumbers in buckets. Ta-da! Yes, some of these need staked and stuff. We just did this the other day. We'll get out here and stake them and cage them and all that neato stuff in the next little bit. Our next project, we have been dealing with a little family of groundhogs. I think I've showed one or two of them to you on camera. We've been told by animal control and by a professional trapper that they cannot be relocated, and that hurts my heart. Guys, they're groundhogs. They're just trying to survive, okay? They come between my neighbor's building, my shed, and this neighbor's building. I don't want to have them trapped. I wanted to have them trapped and relocated to a better place for them. I don't want to have them euthanized. Well, the state of Kentucky says that they have to be euthanized on my property. They cannot be trapped and relocated. So this is where we're at. I don't want to have to do it, so we're trying to use every preventative measure to keep them out of the garden. They were created for a purpose. They, eat grubs, and they don't do really harm. Other than they do damage to things. But I'm trying to kind of make this work. So today we're going to try a little bit of Irish Spring soap and see if that will discourage them from coming around. I'll keep you posted. Hey, I don't think we have really talked much about this part and actually showed you. We planted grapevines this year. So far, this one obviously is doing well. This one's doing well. We're going to build an arbor so they can vine on. This one not doing so well. We're kind of hoping. This one doing okay. We may have to replace that third one. Is what it is. In these buckets, I think some of them are, because they're with the buckets that are down there. There are blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries, and I'm not 100% sure which one is in which bucket. So yeah, and this they will eventually go down the fence line. We tilled this part up, figured out this was hard to do. We haven't had a chance to get the weather and time off altogether to pull the tiller back out, so as we till, we can transplant them. It's not a big. So yeah, there's that, and that's this part of the garden. For those of you that are EJ fans, let me pull this closer. He is down in the garden making his own video. Yeah. Okay. We did it again, and this time we're gonna kind of be done because the lettuce is pretty much wilted and starting to bolt. So
The lettuce has wilted.
we're going to pretty much, I'm gonna water it, see what happens. When if it bolts, I'll collect the seeds, and just be done. These were plants that I bought in this bed. Are
Here's some plants that my grandmother bought.
these I did from seed.
This?
Yeah, kind of just the last few days. They have bolted. It is what it is. More onions.
Greenhouses indoors.
Just like I told y'all, you can grow in anything. You can grow in totes. There are some things you need to do if you're going to grow in a tote, but you can do it. Do have a tomato plant in the city picker. I don't have anything in this city picker yet because I was going to put another tomato plant, but right now it used to be I could just come out on the deck. I can't do that anymore. So yeah. Okay, so that kind of is our garden tour for June. I think might be the 15th. I'm not sure. The correct date will be in the title of the video. We thank you for watching. We thank you for coming along. I'm pretty sure it's the 15th, but I've had a migraine for a couple of days, so I'm not sure. Anyway, so yeah, we are continuing to grow. Y'all have a great day. Remember, I am the mayor's daughter.
And I'm the mayor's great-grandson.
And we love you so much. Have a great day. See you. Bye.